Hey guys, Conqueror here, and today we're going to be looking at 7 tanks I consider to be powerhouses in World of Tanks. And what I mean by that is these are tanks where you can just feel dominant on the battlefield when you play them, almost regardless of tier. Yeah, these are tanks I thoroughly enjoy, and the first one we're going to take a look at here is the ISU 122S Soviet Tier 7 Premium tank destroyer, not to be confused with the SU 122-44. What's different about this compared to the SU 122-44? Well, gun handling and DPM. This thing's got better DPM and it's got better gun handling. It doesn't quite have the same mobility or armor, but let me just tell you about this DPM real quick. There is only one tank in the game that has better DPM than this, and that is the Tortoise. This is a tier 7, mind you. You have base DPM of 3,162 base DPM on this absolutely mad machine. You can rack up damage so incredibly fast. In fact, let's take a look at the end of this replay here I have for you guys, where our adrenaline rush kicks in and we're about to die. So the team is collapsed, but we've done 2k damage. We know there's an IS sneaking up behind us, so we're going to go after him and hope we don't run into anything else. There he is, and boom, we put the shell on him. There's more tanks shooting at us. We fix our loader, and here comes some tanks. There's no way we're going to kill this guy, right? Well, you would be wrong. Yeah, we are going to, in fact, kill him. In fact, our adrenaline rush did not kick in until now, and the game's over. We're actually going to get one more shot off. Unfortunately, we missed the shot, but still, we got another shot off. What other tank would be able to do that? I guess the Tortoise, but the Tortoise should be fighting tier 10s, not just tier 8s and 7s like we were here. There is no other tank in the game which should be able to do what that tank just did. Next is the Dreadnought KV-2. Of course this tank was going to be on the list. Are you even surprised? Now this list, there's no particular order. This is just the order I recorded the games in, I guess, is probably... Yeah, I think that's what's going on here. So yeah, KV-2 Dreadnought. I mean, what is there not to say about this tank? You take a KV-2, you move it up a tier. That doesn't sound very good, does it? You're right. But you beef up incredibly its mobility, incredibly its gun handling, and you reduce the reload by 1 second. Oh, and that's not all. You give it AP with 175 pen and heat with 250 millimeters of penetration. This tank is absolutely mad. Yes, we just hit that shot on the move with our AP shell into, what is that, the Dicker Max? Or was that an, what was that? I think that was the D Max, yeah. And the mobility, as you can see, allowed us to escape the precarious positioning we were in. The situation, I guess. And now we are alive and able to fight from this rock here and hopefully win this game. Yeah, this tank, it's a crazy machine. We're going to put a big old hit into this guy, hopefully. Boom, he bounces off. We put a shell into him. Easy peasy. We're up to 3,200 damage. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? You hardly have to work for it in this tank. I mean, if you're in a comet, sure, you can do damage like that, but you gotta work for it. In this tank, it just comes easy. E75. Third on this list. Again, no particular order. Absolutely. This is one of my all-time favorite tanks in the game. If not, it's not quite my favorite. The FE4202 is definitely my favorite, and then probably the FE215B, and then goes this. But it's in my top 3. And if I ever just want to win a game and just take the game by the horns, this is the tank to use for me. It's fast, it goes 40 kilometers an hour. I have fuel equipped, so I actually go 42. An E75 going around at 42. It's got armor, comparable to tier 10s. You bounce tier 10 shells off your upper plate. Not necessarily premium rounds from specifically tank destroyers. Even premium rounds from tier 10 guns can also go through it, like medium tanks and such. But you have fantastic side armor, 120 millimeters, 8 degrees of gun depression, a big gun, boom. And like I said, you're mobile. And mobility is huge. Mobility and armor, you have them both on this tank. And that is just absolutely massive, and it allows you to do incredible things. And I love armor. Armor is probably my favorite thing in this game, my favorite thing to use. If I could claim one skill, or whatever skill, yeah, by the way, that heavy tank, that tier 8 heavy tank we shot, yeah, his icon is white, as you can see. There it is. Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, back to talking about skills. If I could claim my best skill in this game, I think it's blocking damage. Of course, everyone has a best skill. So there's anyone can claim what their own best skill is. So claim what your best skill is in the comments below if you'd like. But yeah, mine is blocking damage. And so you give me a tank which has boxy armor. Some people don't like boxy armor. I love boxy armor because it's all about the angles. You can angle your tank however you want. Then you can pull off some really insane games, really insane carries, just blocking damage. The E75. It really is a beautiful thing. Look, it just looks gorgeous. Look at this thing. It's just beautiful. As you can see, we've only been shot by HE so far. That has actually been able to damage us until this dragon shows up. He puts a shell into us. But I mean, hello there, sir. We will get our revenge on you for damaging us. Dead. E75. Powerhouse. Change my mind, I dare you. I mean, you ain't gonna change my mind when it comes to the E75. The Tiger 131 is number 4 on the list, and we're actually going to just sit back and watch this replay. Ignore that shot right there. Yeah, just watch this entire replay. It's real quick, real fast. And same reason I like the E75 when you are talking about mobility. This thing goes 38, and it gets up and it goes rather quickly. It's not 40 or 42 like the E75 can go, but it's still pretty fast. Just watch this thing's DPM. Just watch what it can do as we're fighting these tanks. Gonna try to push on that guy. If we miss, he bounces off of us. It doesn't matter. We're side scraping. We have 80 millimeters of side armor at this tier, which is fantastic. It allows us to do things like that. Put a shell into the side. He gives it to us. Thank you very much. Put it into him. And look at this reload. 4 seconds. If I activate food, it's 3.8. What about adrenaline rush? You tell me. I don't know. We'll find out later in this replay. Trust me, you're going to be seeing some adrenaline rush, and it's absolutely insane. Just look at this damage. We're just dishing out shot after shot after shot. That guy penned us. We pen him back. It doesn't matter. We have APCR now loaded because of the Black Prince and the OI, so going through that... What is that? That's the Plague Bringer, and should not be an issue whatsoever. With tanks in front of us, tanks behind us, we have the 5-4, and we're about to get overrun, and we see that, we sense that, we have to get going, we have to make a play, and this is where this thing's mobility comes into play right here. We're going to put a shell into him. We're indecisive whether we need to go or not, and then we're like, yes, we do need to go, or not yet. Now we're like, okay, we need to go. Yeah, let's go. He pens us, doesn't matter. IS to our right, and everyone else behind us. IS puts a shell into us. That kind of hurt. Someone else is about to put a shell into us as well, but we're going to finish this guy if we put a shell into him. Yes, we do, and we're going to ram him. There we go, 29 hit points left. Now our reload is 3 seconds. If we activate food, it's even faster than that. And by the way, we're up to 2,500 damage. Where did that come from? That's this tank's DPM. It's absolutely mad. We're going to try to bait a shell from this guy. Yep. Or no, he's not looking. Now he is. He hits us in his tracks. Our tracks, we got a little bit lucky there. Unfortunately, we don't have a repair crew, so it's going to take us a little bit of time, and we're not going to risk putting 2 shells in this guy, but watch this thing's reload. Ready? Boom, we put it in. 3 seconds later, guess what? Now we're loaded. 2.9 seconds with our food activated. We're going to side scrape, bait a shot from this guy. Bait 1 shot. That's all we want. 1 baited shot. And then we're just going to absolutely eviscerate him. 80 millimeters side armor, more than enough to bounce a 122. He fires, and now it's all over for him. We put 1 shell into him, and guess what? We just put another shell into him. And finally, you're going to see it. We put a finishing blow into his tank. We're up to 3,400 damage just like that. The rest of the game is kind of slow. We chase down a light tank and we chase down artillery, or the Black Prince. The Black Prince doesn't get very far, but we do kill him. We kill the SU-100 as well, and we almost kill the Chaffee. But we're going to call that. That's a successful quick review, I believe, of the Tiger 131. The Super Conqueror. Here it is. This vehicle is already so incredibly good. But then you load up premium rounds and you just get 1,000 times better. And a lot of you are thinking, clone, that's the case for most tanks. You load up your premium rounds, suddenly your tank is better. Yes, this is true, but something about the Super Conqueror just makes it go from easy mode to super easy mode. And that's no exaggeration. I have a video from January of 2020 where we were playing in this tank when we decided to load nothing but gold. We played 3 games, had 2 8K games and 1 10K game. This is one of the easiest tanks in the game if you press A, and it makes it more than just a powerhouse. It makes it a bulldozer. You do not stop this thing. It can get hull down and you can't do anything about it. This is one of those tanks where if I'm fighting a Jagdpanzer 100 or even a Death Star and I'm hull down, I'm pretty confident in this thing's turret. And that's going to be the situation in this game. Like, look at this. There's a Jagdpanzer. Now, I'm not afraid of him. He's looking at me. He could fire. I'm not afraid. Just got to put it in. Easy. Now, there's a Death Star. I'm not afraid of him. We're going to get hull down on him, aim up a shot, put it in. Just kidding, we're actually going to miss him there, but he misses us as well. It doesn't really matter, and that just allows us now to, just the confidence you have in this tank. E50, hello, auto lock, boom, APCR, easy mode. I don't encourage you spamming APCR. I don't encourage it at all. English is hard, but this is what it can do. It's games like this. They're capping out. Guess what? These guys are going to get overconfident, and they're going to all jump off the cap circle. Unfortunately, we can only shoot the 432, but he doesn't have the capture points. And there they go. The enemy team jumps off the capture base. And, yeah, thank you, guys. Unfortunately for them, jumping off the base is going to allow us to get into this game and take it by the horns. And, of course, win it. We have 2 artillery in front of us. Thankfully, artillery is very dumb, as you'll see right here. Oh, hello, what are you doing? Don't mind me. Boop, into him. Now the other guy's like, don't worry, I can climb this before he's loaded. But he's artillery, and down he goes. Not a huge game, but we were in a Super Conqueror. Powerhouse. Yeah. This thing is absolutely mad, absolutely insane. You get yourself on a city map where you can brawl. You just unload your gun. Insane DPM, insane penetration, insane gun. Great tank. Number 6 is the T-32. I'm sure a lot of you were not expecting this, but this is, in my opinion, the best Tier 8 tank in the game. Yes, I could definitely easily include the Scorpion G, the Rheinmetall Borsig, the SU, what is it, 130 PM. There's a lot of good, the Dragon. There's a lot of fantastic Tier 8s. But when it comes to a powerhouse, it's got to be the T-32. You have a turret which you can depend on at any tier. Like, I'll go held down on this grill and I won't fear him. And I'll, here, you know what? Let me just show you what I'm talking about. He's trying to run, so we're gonna shoot him again. And while we wait for him to get to a position to shoot us in the turret, this tank would already possibly be in this list, if not for the buffs they gave it. Now with the buffs, it's definitely in this list. Let me tell you about this tank real quick. It used to have 98 millimeters of penetration. Then they buffed it to 218. Ready? Boom, we just bounced a tier 10 tank destroyer off this thing's turret. And that's just every day in this thing. So its penetration got buffed by 20 millimeters. 218, fantastic. Then they also buffed its gun handling. It used to have 0.41 accuracy. Now I think it's 0.37 or 0.38, maybe 0.36. They also buffed its on the move accuracy, so you can hit shots on the move pretty easily. Well, you can still bounce off of STB1s, of course. And they also buffed its DPM. We are sitting at a pretty 7.5 seconds reload in the T-32, which is absolutely insane. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. This tank just went from being already what I consider to be one of the best Tier 8 heavies to just hands down being the best, at least for me. We're having issues here getting our gun down, but that's another thing you have. You have 10 degrees of gun depression in this thing, which allows you to use the turret even more. Like what's this guy gonna do? Nothing. Hello. We bounce off him, unfortunately, but like, we're so confident in this tank. We're just like, go for it. Try to shoot us. If it wasn't for that Brusque, who's now going to be shooting us again, like, we could have had an even better game than we're having now. But, you know, it is what it is. We're just keeping, these are tier 10 tanks. We're keeping them at bay right now because they're afraid to fight us. That is the T-32A when you get it hull down. Finally, it's T-3485M. And also, I know I said T-32A at the end of that last replay, but it's okay. Okay, you know what I meant. You know what I meant. This is the T-3485M. It is a tier 6 vehicle. And again, it has really good DPM. 2,000 DPM base at tier 6 is really good. Fantastic gun. Great mobility, great armor. The armor doesn't hold up at tier 8, but it holds up great at tier 6. You can bounce tier 7s even occasionally. You can bounce tier 5s easily. And this gun is absolutely insane. They took the gun of the T-3485, put it on the 3485M. There's a lot of numbers here. And they buffed its DPM, and they buffed its gun handling. And pretty much the only downside to this tank compared to the T-3485 is the mobility. Because this thing has more armor, it's heavier, so it gets up to speed a little bit slower. Otherwise, it's just a better T-3485. And if you're top tier, you just eviscerate everyone. I'm sure if I played the Absolution, it would be on this list, but I don't play the Absolution, so it is not on this list. It could probably, the Absolution is probably a tank that could easily take this tank on. But we're not talking about the Absolution. We're talking about the T-34-85M, and this is one of the tanks when I just need a win. I just need a good game. This is a tank I pull out so I can absolutely eviscerate the enemy team, especially when you're not bottom tier. Of course, in this game we are, so it's a little bit harder, but it can hold its own when it's bottom tier fairly easily. Guess what? We have one more for the list. An honorable mention, the WZ-111QL. This is a tank I forgot about. It's fairly new. So number 8. This thing is insane. You take the WZ-111-5A and you just give it a bigger gun. Almost same exact DPM, just a bigger gun. And for some reason, this tank just seems to be harder to penetrate. I don't know why. The armor is the same, but people seem to bounce off me more, and I seem to bounce off it more. Is that just me? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We gotta kill this bat chat, and just watch what this can do, and then I'll outro. Just watch. Watch this tank. E4. E4. That was actually on purpose. We were using our mini-map, and we angled our rear to hopefully bounce the E4, and hope he was auto-locking, and he did. And that's why I like the circle mini-map. I don't have to look at him to know the orientation he has on me. He bounces off of us, and we're still alive to fight another day. And now, guess what? We get to kill him. I know, because he bounced, and he's dead. And our damage has just ticked up so rapidly. We're at 2K. Suddenly, we're at 4.2. And we're not done. We're going to put another shell into this guy. We just did 3,000 damage in, what, a minute? Almost 3,000 damage, 2,700 in a minute? That, my friends, is the WZ-111QL. Another powerhouse. Another tank that just racks up damage. We got a little lucky in that game, but a good tank allows you to get lucky more often. Anyway, that's it. I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you did, slap that like button, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your powerhouses are in this game. And if you agree with some of these, of course, let me know. I'd love to hear. And if you appreciate the video, slap that like button. Comment, subscribe, check out SpaceBANDIT, check out my book, link in the description below. And I'll be seeing you guys all later. Take care, everyone, and peace out.